lot of us now with nothing to do, it would be an ideal time to do some cleaning and maintenance on your firearm. So I'm going to go through the cleaning and maintenance on a bolt action rifle, as this system is the most popular out there, as most of us that hunt, and especially that hunt deer, use a bolt action rifle. So first of all, I'll go through the equipment we need. The equipment I use and the stuff I use is, I use Brunox, I have Ballistol gun oil. I can't emphasize enough, when you're cleaning your firearm, use correct gun oil. Don't use WD-40 3-in-1 oil or any of those. Get a Pacific gun oil. And of course, bore solvent. This is for inside your barrel. Another essential piece of equipment is a bore guide, and I'll go through the use of that. Next is patches. Patches that are specific to the caliber that you're cleaning. If it's a 30 caliber rifle, such as this 308, we use 30 caliber patches. An oil rag, a bore snake, and of course a one-piece cleaning rod. That's another essential piece of equipment. And with the correct fittings, a bore jag that's specific to the caliber of the rifle. This is a 30 caliber bore jag, which the 30 caliber patches will attach to and be pushed up through the bore of your 30 caliber rifle. And if it's a 243, make sure you have a 243 or a 6mm bore jag. Other piece of equipment we'll have is, for the chamber, a cotton swab, a nylon brush, a bronze brush, and if needed, a nylon brush and also a bronze brush. So the first thing we do before we start is we make sure the rifle is unloaded. So first thing we do is we remove the bolt from our rifle. It's also advisable to remove the magazine. Now we know for certain that our rifle is safe to work upon. So the first thing we'll do with a rifle is we'll fit our bore specific jag to our one-piece rod. Our rod should spin inside the handle. As it's being pushed, it spins up through the rifling. We get a patch. Again, I'm emphasizing a patch that's specifically designed for that caliber rifle that you're cleaning. We add to that soaking our patch. So we'll let our patch soak away there for a second, and we'll fit our bore guide to our rifle. So we remove that. The bore guide replaces the bolt on a rifle and goes into the chamber. Straight all the way into the chamber. Then we refit the lever, tightening up everything all the way in, and then we just push that back and tighten it. Making sure that our bore guide is securely fastened into a rifle. What the bore guide does, it prevents spillage going into your trigger mechanism, and it also guides the rod straight directly into the lands of the rifle. So now our patch is soaked thoroughly through. We get the patch and we push it through. As you can see, our first pass through the rifle with our bore solvent has removed a lot of carbon. We don't need to change the patch at this point. We just turn the patch over. We refit the patch turned over, place it back into our bore guide and pass it through again. So we've had 2 passes through it. I'm not seeing any evidence of copper fouling, but definitely a lot of carbon buildup, which is needs to be removed from our rifling. So we remove a rod, we get a clean patch, we soak that away. So we'll just leave a bit in the center, and then our solvent just expands out throughout our patch. We get our nylon brush. At the moment, our bore has been saturated with the solvent with our first initial patch. So getting our nylon brush, we pass that straight up, through and all the way back. We can also, at this point, give the slightest bit of bore solvent onto our nylon brush. Pass once up and all the way back. Remove our nylon patch, or nylon brush I should say, and refit the jag to our 1-piece rod. Get the patch that we had soaking. What the nylon brush has done, it has loosened all the fouling that's inside the barrel with the aid of the solvent. That's a clean patch going in. I'll just remove these. Now, again, we get our patch, we turn it over. We should get 2 passages with each patch by turning it over. On our next patch, it should come out fairly clean. If the barrel was really, and there was a lot of shots gone through the barrel, it might be advisable to use the bronze brush to remove stubborn deposits, but I don't think that is quite necessary with this gun, as it's a hunting rifle and I haven't been to the range lately due to the restrictions. Fit that patch to our jag, come to our bore guide and pass through. Now it's turning quickly to a very light grey. So one more, turn it over, fit our patch, and that time no deposits evidence on the patch. That to me indicates that our bore is clean. We can do that in a second. What we can do next is we remove the tread cap. Just a piece of advice here, if you use a moderator, never ever store your gun with the moderator fitted. The reason being that the moderator excels corrosion at the top of your muzzle. It will eat into your crown, it'll also eat into up to 1 inch down into your barrel. It promotes rust and corrosion in storage, so remove the moderator from the gun when you're storing it. So what we do next, because this is a moderated rifle, we need to clean the muzzle. Brunox is a great thing for doing this. So we spray a little bit of Brunox onto our cloth, let it soak into our cloth, and then we come to our muzzle, pressing the cloth in, we turn. This should remove any carbon that's on the crown of our rifle. There you have it. That is the amount of carbon that's on that gun. So again, we'll turn it over to a clean area of our cloth, put it on, and just that. It's coming clean, but what we can do, if there's any heavy carbon built up, using a bronze brush, you can just break it up. Bronze does not mar or do anything to your barrel. Then we'll get a clean patch here, and we'll just, it's coming almost clean, switch it over. Clean and clear. That means our muzzle has been clear. The crown area has been clear of carbon. Then we get our lubricating oil, and we just put a smallest bit of lubricating oil onto our threads. This helps and aids the fitting of a moderator to the rifle. So, and then we refit our thread cap. The thread cap protects all the threads on the top muzzle of your rifle. So what we've done now is we've cleared all the carbon deposits and copper deposits from our bore. Next part of this is what we do is we remove our bore guide. We remove our bore guide, then we get our chamber squab. We place that into the chamber. What this is doing is cleaning inside our chamber right up to the lands of the rifle. That's that clean. The final thing I do with the rifle, I remove it, turn the rifle upside down, and then getting a caliber specific bore snake. Caliber specific means 30 caliber rifle, 30 caliber bore snake. And we drop that bore snake into our barrel. When we pass it through, upside down, straight down, letting the snake fall into the chamber, then we turn the rifle up. Keeping the string center to the bore, we pull through. We do this twice. Rifle up this way, drop into our chamber, keeping the string center to our bore, we pull through. Now what we've done is we've taken off any excessive oil or anything that's inside our barrel. Our barrel at this point is spotlessly clean. The next thing we look at is our bolt. So what do we do with our bolt? There's not a lot to be done on the bolt, and I don't recommend disassembling them. But in around here and the extractor can get bits of metallic fouling. So with a bronze brush or a nylon brush would do, what we do is we just clean the bolt face and all around the lugs. The lugs is what locks the bolt head face into our chamber. The next we turn over to a clean part of our oil cloth. We get oil and lubricant, and we rub down our bolt. A little oil is all that's necessary. You do not have your equipment dripping of oil. It doesn't do the gun any good, and excessive oil left inside the bore can be a disaster. So we've cleaned it, and then we clean inside. I recommend during the whole process that you wear gloves, because you're dealing with carbon, lead, copper deposits and solvents and chemicals. So it's advisable that you wear gloves. Now we fit the bolt back into a rifle. we drop the pin of a rifle by putting our gun on fire and pulling the trigger and dropping it down. And our magazine, just clean it and pop the magazine into a rifle. That is the whole rifle cleaned. Most of us shoot synthetic rifles, so to clean the stock or any fouling that's on the synthetic stock, I recommend a baby wipe. It does a really good job on removing soil, blood and dirt from your synthetic stock. The rest of it then is just taking a rifle up, and before you put it in, using your oily rag and just giving a rub down. At the end of the season, you can disassemble your rifle. You can disassemble your rifle and clean underneath the action and underneath the barrel. I recommend you do that once a year. So for now, that's a simple way and an effective way of maintaining your rifle's accuracy. After you clean your rifle, and especially if you disassemble your rifle, you would want to check the zero and make sure that your zero is still on. As you have reset all the screws and everything, this can have a slight zero shift on your rifle. So even after maintenance or cleaning, and before you fire at game, I never fire at game with a clean barrel. I recommend you fire a fouler first to foul the barrel, and then your rifle should be back to point of impact, which you zeroed it for. Okay, hopefully that was useful and with a lot of us having nothing to do, we can do maintenance and cleaning regime on our firearms.